All right, this is the cross stitch. Now this is actually something that's going to come up in a project later on, actually probably pretty soon. And so this is something I want to make sure that you truly understand. The whole idea of cross stitching is essentially you're making a bunch of X's. So if you think about like a pixelated design, that's kind of like what comes out when you make a cross stitch pattern. So like I said, this is a cross stitch right here. So I'm going to go up on 1, down on 2, up on 3, down on 4. Okay. And that will just give me a simple X, kind of like taking 2 of your straight stitches and just crossing them, essentially making an X. So up on 1, down on 2, up on 3, down on 4. And you just have a simple X shape. Okay, that is a cross stitch. So I'm gonna go down here. Usually put them in rows or whatnot if you're making a design. And I'm gonna do the same thing down here. So up on 1, down on 2, up on 3, down on 4. And then I'm gonna bounce over and do this X. Up on 5, down on 6, up on 7, down on 8. And I'm gonna keep working to my left here, making an X next to the next X and so on. Okay, so now I have 3 cross stitches, so 3 X's side by side. When they're side by side, that they will share those connecting holes there on both sides of the X's. And by doing the same pattern, my first stitch is always that under stitch, and my second stitch is always that top stitch. So it looks really uniform going all the way across. Okay, and then we're going to go over here and try a double cross stitch. All right, for this double cross stitch, we're not going to use the center spot like we did before in the straight stitch. I'm going to go up on 1, down on 2, and we're going to have a bunch of like X's. Well, I shouldn't say bunch. We're going to have 2. We're going to have an X here, and then an X here that we're going to crisscross. That's why they call it a double cross stitch here, because you have 2 X's laying on top of each other. So go up on 1, go all the way over to 2, and go down on 2. And then we're going to go up on 3, down on 4. So this looks just like we did before up on our practice stitch. We have our first X here. Now if I turn it, you'll see that I have another X right here, those black lines. So it's going to be 2 X's on top of each other. So let's go up on 5. Down on 6. Up on 7, and then down on 8. And that gives us like a little mini star here by putting 2 X's on top of each other. And that is a double cross stitch.